Hi, this is Anil and welcome to the video tutorial for the Learning Lad on C++ programming. So in this tutorial we're going to be learning something called conditional compilation, or we're going to learn about the conditional statements. So these conditional statements are going to allow us to execute some part of code depending on some condition, whether it is true or false. So one of the statements which is allowed to do that is called the if statement. So if statement is a conditional statement which is going to allow us to execute the code based on some condition. So to use this if statement we need to use the keyword if and then a pair of parentheses, and between these parentheses we need to write the condition. And if this condition is true, then we're gonna write the statement that we want to execute between the curly braces. So the if keyword, then the condition within the parentheses, then pair of curly braces, and here we're gonna write the statement that we want to execute if this condition evaluates to true. So this condition is nothing but the expression constructed using the comparison operators. So in C++ we have some comparison operators. For example, we have the double equal to, which is used to compare if something is equal to something, and then we have less, greater than or equal to, then we have less than equal to, and we have not equal to, and we have a not operator, which is used to get the negation. So we're going to use these operators and we're going to construct the condition in if statement. Alright guys, now we're gonna see how to use this if in our program. So just for the demonstration purpose, I'm gonna create a variable first, and I'm gonna call it as age. We're gonna consider a real example. In India, the age for voting in election is 18. So if your age is less than 18, then you can't vote in elections. So we'll be writing a program which is going to check the age of the user, and depending on his age, the program is going to tell whether he can vote or not. So for that I have created a variable here called age, which is of type integer. And next we're going to use the if statement. So it's going to be if. So if is a keyword, then a pair of parentheses, and between these parentheses we're gonna write our condition. That is, we're gonna check the age of the user, and it's gonna be age, and then we're gonna use something called comparison operators. In C++ we have double equal to, less than equal to, greater than equal to, not equal to, and not operators, which are frequently used while constructing the expression to form the conditions. So here let's say if the age is less than or equal to 17, then whatever we want to execute will be written in between the curly braces, and that's why I'm going to put two curly braces, and here I'm going to say cout, you can't vote, so go home. Alright, next we're gonna add end line. Okay, now we need to initialize our variable. So I'm gonna initialize the age as 16. So 16 is less than or equal to 17. So this expression evaluates to true, or in other words we can say that this condition is true here. 16 is less than or equal to 17. That's why whatever we write in between these curly braces will be executed. So to demonstrate, so I'm gonna build it, run. Now you guys can see you can't vote, so go home. That's because the age is less than or equal to 17. That's why you can't vote. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna change this age and we're gonna make it, let's say, 22. Now if I save this, build and run this, so you guys can see we got nothing. That's because since this condition failed, this age, which is 22, is not less than or equal to 17, the if block is not executed, and the program just continued with the next line. That's why we didn't got anything here. So I'm gonna close it now, and let's change it to 16. So now we know that when the expression in the if is successfully executed, or when it is evaluated to true, we can only execute the statements in if. What if we want to execute some other statement if this expression is false? or if this expression evaluates to false. For example, in our program, we want to print something to the screen when the age is greater than or equal to 18. To do that, we're gonna use another part of if, which is called else. You can use this if alone, or you can use it as if and else. If this condition is true, execute this statement, else execute these statements which are written in this else block, or between this pair of curly braces. So here in this case, I'm gonna copy this one and I'm gonna paste it, and I'm gonna say yes, 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 you can vote. Alright, now I'm gonna save this, and just remember that our age is 16 right now, and that's why this expression evaluates to true, and this if block will be executed and this else block is not executed. So we will get you can't vote, so go home. I'm gonna save it, build and run. So you can see you can't vote, so go home. Now if I change this one to, let's say, 22, now this age is not less than or equal to 17, which means this expression evaluates to false, or this condition fails. That's why this if block will not be executed and this else block will be executed, and we're gonna get yes, 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 you can vote. I'm gonna save it, build and run. Yes, 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 you can vote. Okay, now the next thing is here the comparison operator that we have used. You guys can use the greater than or equal to, double equal to, not equal to, or not operators with the boolean variables. All these things you can do. Just for the demonstration purpose, I have used this less than or equal to here, and depending on the expression you are forming, you guys need to use different comparison operators. And the next thing that I want you guys to teach is about whether we need to use these braces or not. If you want to execute only one statement after this if or after this else, then you guys don't need to use these curly braces. You can use it, but it's not necessary. So just to demonstrate that, I'm gonna remove this, and here also. Now if I save this, build and run this, the program works successfully. But just remember that if you wanted to execute only one statement or one line of code after your if or else, then you guys don't need to use, or it's not necessary to use, the curly braces. If you guys want to execute more than one line, then you guys need to use the curly braces. Alright guys, that's it. Thank you for watching, and this is about the if statement in C. And like my Facebook page at facebook.com/learninglad, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.